So this hamburger meat is 7 years old. Good Lord, now that's not right. We have to go, folks. I'm awfully sorry we ran out of time. Bill Hicks, the comedian, will be with us as soon as we can reschedule him. Have a good weekend, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paul. My next guest up is a stand-up comedian who is making his... in fact, before we introduce him, let me just say that I was just kidding about the height of Doug Flutie. I think he's a fine ball player. I don't want to upset folks in Boston. He's a fine ball player. He's been to the house. A lovely human being. And for my money, he's plenty tall for anything he wants to do. My next guest is a stand-up comedian. He is making his network television debut on this program tonight. He is working this weekend at the Comedy Workshop in Houston, Texas. Please give a warm welcome to Bill Hicks.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Bill Hicks. Thank you. Full name is William Melvin Hicks. Thanks, Dad. It's a name with certain connotations, huh? Hi, my name is Melvin Hicks. This is my wife and my sister. Okay, man. All right. Yeah, I got a good look with it, too. You like my face? It's a classic. Trust me. Got the kind of face people walk up to me out of the blue and go, "What's wrong?" Nothing. Well, you know, it takes more energy to frown than it does to smile. Yeah. You know, it takes more energy to point that out than it does to leave me alone. Scariest thing, I look just like my dad. This is a frightening aspect of my life. Afraid I'm going to wake up one day and start acting like my dad. I love him, you know, but he's a goober. He means well, he just doesn't pull it off, you know. Made a vow I'd never act like that. The day I go outside, wait for the paper boy in my underwear, blow me away, baby, right there. That's it. You're wasting precious breath at that point. I've seen my dad in a Bermuda jumpsuit. Looks like a psychedelic farmer. Walk into McDonald's and ask if they served hamburgers. And, "Dad, could you wait in the car, please?" Luckily, the guy behind the counter was acting like his dad. "Wait a minute, I'll check." You know, yeah. Meanwhile, they just don't pull it off. We got Christmas coming up. Remember when I was younger? Go-karts were the thing. We wanted go-karts, all my friends. Christmas rolled around. My friends got go-karts. I'm 12 years old. I got a college dictionary. Mom goes, "Bill, it's the thought that counts." Oh, Mom, but what were you thinking? Seriously. Well, my dad feebly tried to make up for it. "Well, look, son, go-kart's in it." Yeah, Dad, so is tightwad. Yeah, college dictionary came in handy all 4 weeks I was in college. Yeah. Could not, as hard as I tried, wake up for that 8 o'clock class, man. You know that feeling at all? Yeah. I was going to night school, too. Look upon that as a hint, I think. I majored in philosophy, hoping to open up my own little belief one day. It's great, taking philosophy in the summertime. All you have in your class are jocks trying to make up credit. Didn't seem to fit in. I had an Eastern philosophy class. First day, instructor walked out. Goes, "God is consciousness, and we are all God trying to realize our full potential." Whoa. Heavy duty. Guy in the back row goes, "Yeah, we're going to need to know that." "Is that going to be on the quiz?" I'm taking notes. One of our textbooks was the New Living Bible. You heard of this, the Bible with the updated language in it? They update the language of the Bible. I don't know about you, but when I read, and Jesus walked on water, and Peter said, awesome. I'm into that for some reason. I had a job for a while, worked in an occult bookstore. Got to meet some fascinating people here, man. Excuse me, where's your devil worship section? It's right behind you, man. Thank you. I don't want to wait on this guy. He's gonna spit soup on me. I got a date tonight. Psychos out there. Worked for a while in a movie theater that played exclusively horror movies. Got to watch the people that go to these things. Scarier than the movies. You can hear stuff in horror movie audiences now, like, I remember when I cut off a head. Am I in your way? I will crouch for that guy. Can't work. I always end up working for, what are they called, bosses? These guys that care about the job. Put a crimp in the workday. Oh, always bugging me. Hicks, how come you're not working? There's nothing to do, man. Well, pretend like you're working. Why don't you pretend that I'm working? Pretend I'm mopping. Knock yourself out. I'll pretend they're buying stuff. Let's close up. Y'all have been great. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you. We'll be right back. That was very nice. Very funny, Bill. Please come back.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, sir.
Glad
Thanks
to.
again. Also, my thanks to Charles McLaren and his sleeping box, Marv Albert, and Terry Ann Sachs. Tomorrow night, musician Herbie Mann will be here, and Marissa Berenson plus viewer mail. Have a nice evening, and good night, folks. A few months ago, my next guest made his television debut on this program, and things have been going great for him ever since. So great, in fact, that he'll be working this weekend at Chip Flato's San Antonio Comedy Club. A very funny man. Please welcome comedian Bill Hicks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How many of y'all feel this is probably the peak of the party right here? Me too. I'm a comedian. I like my job. It's a good job. I like the hour. And it's a tough job, and I'm here to do it. I feel good about it. I can't do anything else. I have what's called a bad attitude. Got any bad attitudes out there? I'm also not a team player. Ooh. So my principal told me, Bill, I'm sorry, son, but you're just not a team player. Oh, there's a couple of sleepless nights I spent. What am I going to do with all these jerseys I bought? You know, I mean, hey, I was born alone, not with an infield, all right? So, yeah, I got a hostile attitude. I got from a hostile family. It's pretty rough. Kids would come up to me when I was younger going, my dad can beat up your dad. I go, when? Take the man out, you know? He's cutting the lawn Saturday, pick him off then, why don't you? Well, he's got on that Bermuda jumpsuit he found somewhere in Oklahoma, I think. I don't know where he sends away for that. Yeah, I just got back from Oklahoma. I'm on my way to San Antonio. My career continues to wobble unevenly. Yeah, Oklahoma, that's a great place. Impression of Oklahoma? You like Oklahoma? Here's an impression for those who've never been before. That was inside the club I was playing, so... People in Oklahoma think the Marlboro Man is effeminate, okay? So, and the women make him look that way, so I was glad to get out of that place. It was strange. See signs by the road in Oklahoma, signs saying dirt for sale. Oh, I'd like to get inside that guy's mind and look around for an hour. This guy sees opportunity at every glance, man. I don't know why he didn't open up an air dealership while he was at it. As long as you're selling the elements here. Thinking of starting your own planet? Come on down to Bojam's Land. I checked him out. He had a great rap. Came up to me and goes, I don't want to pressure you now, but we got a family of worms looking at this. They were here first. Yeah, I like Oklahoma. They got all those Southern evangelists down there, too. I like Southern evangelists. Real powerful dudes. See stuff on the TV Guide on Sunday like Brother Dave heals the deaf. Show closed captioned. How powerful is Brother Dave here? So we got out of there quick. Even though warnings beside the road saying speed limit is enforced by unmarked vehicles, we figured we were speeding in an unmarked vehicle. How are they going to know it's us? So I'm feeling pretty good. Been dating the same girl now for 7 years. I think I'm finally ready to pop the question. Why are we still seeing each other? Man. It's gotten kind of ugly. She freaked out on me. She really freaked out. Calls me up in the middle of the night going, I don't know who I am. Yeah. How did you know to call me? Some pretty heavy odds there. Tells me she's thinking about jumping in front of a bus and I'm not being very helpful. So I sent her a bus schedule. Yeah, look, honey, there's one every hour. Why do you tease me? I'm too old to pull your hair, right? I'm glad. I don't want to be that wrapped up in anyone. Look what it does to other guys. I was reading about Vincent van Gogh. Whoa. Guy cut off his ear and sent it to this girl, man. It makes a dozen roses look like a booger, Jack. I mean... Wow. And here his friends going, are you sure you love her, Vince? He's going, what? I think Vince likes this chick, man. So I don't know. I'm glad to be here. I would like to be a rock star. What a great job. I am a rock star. I'm just waiting to get my band together and learn how to play an instrument. I'm on the road, man. I'm watching Entertainment Tonight. They came out and announced Paul McCartney makes $10 million a month. That kind of puts our lives in perspective there. I'm watching that going, $10 million a month. This guy next to me goes, yeah, but taxes eat that up. Yeah, Paul's out there scrambling for rent right now, huh? Every time I think I'm partying too hard, I just keep in mind that Keith Richards is still alive. Breathe a sigh of relief, huh? Makes that pack of Marlboro a day look pretty mediocre compared to this guy's lifestyle, man. But he outlived Jim Fix, the runner, and Health Nut. So, I'm stating facts, make your own connections there. I picture a nuclear war, two things are gonna live, Keith and bugs. Where did everybody go? Saw a bright light, I thought we were on. Hey, folks, thank you. Have a spiffy.
Okay, we're almost out of time. Thank you very much, Bill. You're very funny. Come back anytime, sir. Nice to see you again. Also, my thanks to Chris Elliott, Diane Brill, and Seth Miranda from Ohio. Monday, Billy Crystal, Paul Young, and Paul Reiser. Have a good weekend, folks. Thank you very much. Good night. Thanks, Paul. Arnie, how about that last guy? Woo! My next guest was always told he had an attitude problem, but now it gets him plenty of steady work. He can be seen on February 18th through the 23rd in Dallas at the Comedy Corner. Please say hello to a very funny young man, Bill Hicks. Bill, come on out here.
I'm all shook up. Thank you very much. It's great to be back here. Since I was here last, my career has been skyrocketing. I've been working a lot between L.A. and New York now, mostly in Oklahoma, but I'm in the country, and that's important. Yeah, Oklahoma, the only state Arkansas can make fun of. It's Arkansas' state motto, isn't it? Hey, at least we're not Oklahoma. Come on. So what if we're 48th in education? We got scenery here. Yeah, last time I did a show in Oklahoma, it was real weird. After the show, a guy came up to me and said, "You're real funny. I'd like you to meet my wife and sister." And there was one girl standing there. Yeah, we're talking hillbilly hell here. Clampets, party of four. Well, my name is Bill. Gives you a good idea where my creativity comes from. My parents, I know they sat up all night tossing that one around. Should we name him Bill or John, honey? What's more common? Bill it is. What a weird name. Every year, teachers ask you the same thing. Do you want to be called Bill or William? They're two different names. Call me Chuck if I got a choice. Chuck or Charles? Just had my high school reunion, 5-year high school reunion a month ago. I didn't go to it. I figured I didn't go to high school. Why should I show up 5 years later and see these guys again? Only way they'd remember me is if I put my name tag on my back and leaned over a desk like this. Hey, look, there's Hicks. Let's wake him up and tell him we graduated. What do you think? Yeah, I was what they called an underachiever. Gross underachiever. One time in shop class, teacher gave us all a 3x6, told us to make something out of it. I made a 2x4. Guy gave me a D. Perfect 2x4. Very disillusioned. No luck. One time in first grade, our teacher left the room for like a minute. We started playing keep away from this girl with her pencil. Everyone's laughing, you know, y'all quit it, give me a y'all quit it, y'all. It was great. Pencil came to me, I threw it, went in this guy's eye. Blinds him for life. Everyone in class is going, "Geez, Hicks, it's a game." What are you, crazy or something? Suddenly, I'm Henry Lee Hicks here. Because this guy can't catch a #2 pencil like a normal human. Yeah, I got a chainsaw in my lunchbox. Look out. I'm mad. One time I'm late to class. I come in the middle of class. Class has started. I'm sitting down. Guy pulls my chair out from under me right when I said I hit the floor. Even the teacher cracks up. "That's what you get for being tardy, Mr. Hicks." I was thinking of doing it to him, but with my luck, he'd hit the floor, break his back. Be in every one of my classes the next 5 years. I don't know. Been kind of worried about things lately. I've been having a lot of sleepless nights lately over cable piracy. That's right. You're looking at one. Don't get scared. I get HBO and Showtime, and I don't pay for them. I could go to prison for that, where they have free cable. I don't know. How do they find out you steal HBO? Some undercover cop come up to you and go, "So, what happened on Fraggle Rock this week?" I go home, watch Fraggle Rock, or my favorite TV evangelist. These are my heroes. I found out one of these TV evangelists has been audited by the IRS. Very interesting fact, a $25,000 donation meant for a hunger fund went to buy him a brand new Corvette. He said it was to help him spread the word quicker, but...
Good. What have you been up to lately? Traveling a lot?
I travel a lot, yeah. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Travel in my little white Chevette.
Yeah.
I got it for its anvil-like durability. Yeah, it's good. You turn the air conditioner on while you're driving, it's like hitting this car in the groin, man. Oh, it goes down to 5. You know. Push the lighter in, the battery light comes on. That's
a bad sign.
Yeah, I hit a moth the other day, did $400 damage.
No, well,
the moth was okay, he rolled with it.
Uh-huh. How's your family doing?
They're doing good, I guess. I saw them at the holidays. That's always fun for about the fraction of a second. Mom, Dad, can I get a ride back to the airport? They're all right. They're all right.
All right, we got to do a commercial here. We'll be back, folks. Don't worry about nothing. Bill, nice to see you again. Thank you very much for being here, sir, and have a good, what are we coming up on? Well, have a nice Valentine's Day. My thanks to Mike the dog and also to Matthew Lesko. Monday on this program, oh, this will be nice, Raquel Welch, Sandra Bernhardt, and Senor Wences. And also my thanks to Arnie Barnes. Arnie, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Was this the most exciting hour of your life?
Great.
Okay, thanks for helping us out. And give us a call again.
All right.
Okay, Arnie, bye-bye. Try and get a nap.
All right.
Arnie Barnes. Paul, thank you very much. We'll see you folks Monday night. Bye-bye.
Tomorrow morning on Today from Buenos Aires, a look at the real Tango Argentino.
Our next guest is a very funny gentleman who has a fairly bleak but utterly consistent view of human nature. He is appearing this very week at the Funny Firm in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to this program, Bill Hicks. Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. I've been on the road for the last 3 years, so bear with me while I plaster on a fake smile and plow through this stuff one more time. Teasing, it's magic every show. Been on what I call my UFO tour, which means like UFOs, I too have been appearing in obscure southern towns in front of handfuls of hillbillies lately. I've been doubting my own existence. Stones are touring again. That feels good, doesn't it? Man. What a relief, too, man. I thought I partied hard, you know? The fact that Keith Richards still walks makes that pack of cigarettes I smoke a day look like granola bars, you know? Actually, I'm smoking way too much. I'm going through like 2 lighters a day now. I'm starting to feel it. I'm glad summer's over. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about the beach. Where are you going? The beach. Where were you yesterday? The beach. Where are you going tomorrow? The beach. It's where dirt meets water, you know? I don't get it. Not my environment. Everyone down there's tan, white teeth. I got white skin and tan teeth. I've been traveling. I noticed a certain anti-intellectualism sweeping our country. It's very scary. Last week I was in Nashville, Tennessee. After the show, I went to a Waffle House, right? I'm eating, I'm reading a book, I'm alone. Waitress walks over. Hey, what you reading for? What a weird question. Not what am I reading, but what am I reading for? I don't know, I guess I read for a lot of reasons. One of the main ones is so I don't end up being a waffle waitress. Then this trucker in the next booth gets up, stands over me and goes, well, looks like we got ourselves a reader. What's going on here? She goes, why read when you can just flip on the tube? It's not the same. What do you think I'm reading here? Hee-Haw the book? Man, serious pockets of humanity out there. Go to some of these truck stops in the middle of nowhere sometime and order coffee. Have the guy behind the counter go, "You want the 32 ounce or the large?" Gee, how big is that large? You're going to want to pull your car around back. I'm going to start the pump. I don't know if I want to be awake that long in Tennessee. I saw a sign by the road there that said, "Speed limit enforced by aircraft." Man, you get pulled over by a plane. You have a tough time talking your way out of that one, you know? "Son, I clocked you at 300 miles an hour. What the hell's the deal?" "Sorry, sir, I had this large coffee back at that truck stop." Yeah, so it's great to be here in New York, the city that needs no more coffee. I love this city except for the bums, and that's what they are. They're bums, all right? Very idea. They want me to just give them the hard-earned money my folks send to me every week. You leech, get a job. My dad works 8 hours a day for this money. Can't sleep on the road, and I need my sleep. I make no apologies. I need 8 hours a day and about 10 at night. And I'm good. But on the road, you're staying in hotels, right? You got to deal with the housekeepers, right? Do not disturb on the door. They're there every morning. "Housekeeping. You need fresh towels?" "Yeah, I'm going to need to wipe up your blood." You keep knocking on that door. Do not disturb. It's fairly clear, isn't it? Then again, I'm a reader. Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. And who's on the program tomorrow night, you're saying? Who's on Dave's Broadway cavalcade tomorrow night? Well, take a look here. On the program tomorrow, Michael Moore, the director of Roger and Me. Have you seen that film, Paul?
Roger and Me?
Roger and Me, yeah.
No,
About
haven't
Roger
seen it.
Smith and General Motors and all of that.
Is that what it's
Yeah,
about?
that's what
no,
it's
I
about.
haven't seen it.
Also, Michael Penn will be here singing with the band.
Fresh young vocalist, yeah.
And in addition to that, like we needed another guest for tomorrow's show.
Yeah, who
Clearly we don't. Clearly, that's plenty show right there.
Yeah, who we got?
Frank Gifford.
Oh, well, that'll be something.
And maybe we'll take down the tree.
Oh, possible.
You babies. Our next guest will be performing on New Year's Eve at Caroline's. Hey, by the way, nice job. You're back? Everything go all right? Nice going. Let me tell you something. Tonight, you are MVP. Congratulations. You are Salesman of the Month tonight. Nice going. Yeah, there you go. Huh? You know. Electric. Ever do any work with circular saws? Okay. Our next guest will be performing on New Year's Eve at Caroline's right here in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to this program a very funny man, Bill Hicks.
Thank you. You happy the decade's almost over? Yeah. Man, it's been a weird year for me. Weird year. You guys familiar with this thing called channeling? You know what channeling? When a departed spirit enters your body and speaks through you? I started channeling this year. Out of the blue, I started channeling Elvis. It sucks. He enters my body, gives away Cadillacs, then splits. I come to surrounded by strangers. Well, where's our car? That was Elvis, man. That wasn't me. Do you know that Elvis gave out 161 Cadillacs in his career? Gave them to people walking down the street. He'd pull up. Brand new Cadillac. People waiting for the bus, brand new Cadillac. I think that's what killed Elvis, man. It wasn't drugs. He got that bill from General Motors. Man, I got a tour again. I can't even fit in my jumpsuit. Yeah, it's a little cold here. I like it, though. I had fun outside today watching smokers pass out because I didn't know when they were done exhaling. Okay, I lied. It was me. I do smoke, and, you know, you non-smokers, you know what bugs me is you non-smokers think you're never going to die. That's the attitude I hate. I always get that, hey, buddy, them cigarettes are going to kill you. Well, guess what, Sparky? You're going to die, too. You're just going to die without ever enjoying a cigarette, so... Sorry to pop your eternal life bubble, but, non-smokers die every day. You know what doctors say? Shoot, if only you'd smoked. We have the technology to help those people. You people dying of nothing are screwed. What are you doing? Yeah, I love when people in New York City complain about my cigarette, too. Yeah. These people are standing ankle deep in dog links, straddling a dead guy. Apparently, my cigarette is disrupting the delicate balance of nature here, you know? Oh, this is bothering you. I'm sorry. Let me go over here to this pile of bum dung and put this out. There, is that better? Is that the New York you love? Okay. Bum dung. I feel sorry for these bums, you know? Anybody could be a bum. I could have been a bum, you know? All it takes is the right girl, the right bar, and the right friends, man. I was 3 for 3. I quit drinking. I feel good about that. I was an embarrassing drinker, an embarrassing drunk. I get pulled over by the cops. I'd be so drunk, I'd be out dancing to their lights, thinking I'd made it to another club. Turn the music up. You know, but some of these bums, these panhandlers, look pretty young and healthy to me. You know what I mean? And they got attitudes. Hey, could you help me out? Oh, sorry, no. Oh, thanks for nothing, buddy. You don't know what it's like to be broke. Well, yeah, I do. That's why I work. Don't try that. That'll get you killed. I don't actually work. I do this, you know. It's a great job. I love the hour, you know. And, you know what's great is I have no boss. There's a definite plus in a lifestyle, man. Every job I ever had with bosses, I always got, Hicks, how come you're not working? I go, there's nothing to do. Well, you pretend like you're working. Well, why don't you pretend I'm working? Man, you get paid more than me, you fantasize. I know, I'm the boss now, you're fired. How's that, buddy? I'm pretending. Thank you very much.
Bill Hicks. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Nice job. You come out, you look a little dangerous.
Do I?
Yeah, I think
I've
that...
been up since 2,
no,
traveling
see,
here.
I think that's a good thing. I think you'd be very successful. No, I do. I think so.
Well, I worked for Elvis
Yeah.
for 31 movies.
Did you get... Did you have a good holiday? Did you get your shopping done on
I got
time?
everything done. Good thing I did, I went and bought lingerie for my girlfriend.
Nice going.
It's fun. You go into the lingerie store, and these beautiful women come up and help you with your fantasy.
Really?
I mean, it's great. I go in there, I like some lingerie for my girlfriend. Well, what does she like? Well, I don't know. What do you got? Well, we have crotchless pantyhose. Do you think she'd like that? I think she's going to learn to like that. You just made a sale.
Did you spend the holidays with your family and friends?
I did. I flew in today from... They love those crotchless panty jokes.
A little bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I flew in today, and I just, really learned to hate flying. Every time I see a hijacking on the news, I just think to myself, do it,
Wait, I'm sorry?
Do it.
Do it?
Do it.
Yeah.
I've thought about it, putting a gun to the pilot's head. This is a hijacking. Where do you want to go, Cuba? No, I want to go where this plane was supposed to be 5 hours ago. That's right, I'm hijacking this plane to its scheduled destination. That'd be a great news story.
I think so, yeah.
The plane was hijacked to its destination. Upon landing, the hijackers resumed their lives. Their one demand was, please, no more honey-roasted peanuts.
Yeah. Went to the car rental counter and went home.
Went home.
Are you going to be somewhere? Did we mention that? Let's see if we have it here on the blue card. Let's see. You're not going to be... Oh, no. Caroline's. New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, right.
Good gig.
Very good.
Nice to see you again, Bill.
Thank you
very much. Come back anytime. We'll be right back here with Randy Cohen. The main thing to remember, Paul, I escaped and my head is actually smaller than that hole.
Smaller than it was before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Our next guest, a very funny gentleman who's been on the program many, many times. And look, here we go. This is the first one I've seen of these. It's a brand new comedy CD.
Comedy CD.
Yeah. Here he is back on the program again, ladies and gentlemen. The title of the CD is called Dangerous. Please say hello to Bill Hicks. Bill.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back in New York. Last week I was in Fikes, Alabama. I'm going to give you a moment to all thank God for your day jobs. Spooky, man. In many parts of our troubled world, people are yelling revolution, revolution, and Fikes, they're yelling evolution. We want our thumbs. Their gene pool does not have a deep end. Let me say it diplomatically as possible. But I performed at a club called Buck's Comedy Holler, and I was there on Ladies Who Aren't Your Kin night. Small crowd. Small town. Fikes is so small. In hotel rooms, you got to push 9 on the phone to get an outside line. I was pushing 9 and got the Elmer Dinkley residence. I got the phone here. Hello? Who's this? Elmer Dinkley, you just called my house. Your phone number is 9? Yeah, my cousin's is 23. I had to write that one down. Wrote it on my forehead. I keep calling 32. How do you hold a phone without a thumb? Tough people, man. The guys there were lighting their chewing tobacco. Which I understand, because I'm a smoker. Do we have any smokers here? Yeah. A lot of energy for smokers. But listen to this. How many non-smokers do we have here? I tell you, I'd quit smoking if I didn't think I'd become one of you. You are real annoying people. You really are. I tell you, the worst kind is the kind where you're smoking, they just walk up to you. I always say, shoot, you're lucky you don't smoke. Hell of a cough. I smoke all day and don't cough like that. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I've been living with the same girl now for 3 years, and I think I'm finally ready to pop the big question. You know, why are we still seeing each other? God, I hate you. And I'm afraid she'll take that wrong. Tell you, you could put me in a room of 1 million women, I will leave with the most emotionally disturbed one, without a doubt. I don't know what that says about me, you know. She's a psycho, man. Calls me up in the middle of the night. I don't know who I am. Yeah, how did you know to call me? I think you know who you are. I want my rib back. You know, it says in the Bible, God created woman out of man's rib so man wouldn't be lonely. This was thousands of years before cable, you know? I got cable, I got Nintendo, I got a VCR. I want my rib back. I'm good. It's pathetic, man. You ever watch that show, The Love Connection? Is that spooky or what? Adult human beings on national television groveling for dates. Have some self-respect. Stay home and masturbate. That show makes masturbation look like a spiritual quest, doesn't it? It's too spooky, man. This whole world. The whole world. The fact that we live in a world where John Lennon was murdered, yet Milli Vanilli walks the earth unscathed.
Bill Hicks, you're kind of a tough guy.
Very
sort
bitter.
Of. Bitter. Wait, you're from Texas, right?
Right.
Did you go to school there?
Yeah, I did. I went to the University of Houston for 6 weeks. You won't be seeing me at the alma mater.
6-week undergraduate program.
That's
what,
right.
What were you studying? What were you hoping to study?
I studied philosophy.
Oh, good. For 6 weeks.
Found out it all meant nothing, and I left, you know?
Is there actually a girl in your life? Are you actually splitting up with her? Any of that true?
You know, do you ever really split up? You know, who knows? I learned a lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, wow, Eve, here we are at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die. And all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is it? But I'm not bitter. I am not bitter.
Let's see. Where are you going to be? What are you going to be up to? What are you doing here? Anything. Where you? Oh, you got your new CD out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dangerous. And you'll be appearing...
The Improv in Cleveland.
The Improv in Cleveland. Good for you. Nice to see you, Bill.
Thanks,
Have a
Ed.
great summer. Bill Hicks, kid. And we'll be right back for one more commercial. We're finished for another evening, Bill. Thank you very much for being here. Nice to see you as always. My thanks to Kmar, the discount magician, and of course Buck Henry and Meg from across the street. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Thank you very much. Come back again. Next guest, a very, very, very funny young man. He has a brand new album. It's called Right Here. Dangerous is what it's called. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Say hello to Bill Hicks. Bill, come on out.
How you doing tonight? I'm doing great. I quit smoking cigarettes, finally. Yeah. I now pour them in a bowl with coffee and I eat them, but I feel much better. I got to do something because I quit drinking. I had to. I was pathetic, you know. When you're using mezcal as a chaser, you know, you've crossed the line. You know about mezcal? It's supposed to have some type of hallucinatory properties, which is true. Me and 3 buddies drank it, went around driving in my dad's car. He's got one of those talking cars, right? We're flying. The car goes, "The door is ajar." We pulled over, thought about that for 12 hours. How can a door be ajar? I don't know, but I see it. I see it too, man. Why would they put a jar on a car? I'm not proud of every moment in my life. We were pathetic, man. We get pulled over by the cops. We'd be so drunk. Cops would be tapping on this window. We're staring at them in this mirror. How tall are you? Little guy. Let's put him in the jar. Got to do something, though. You know, I live in New York, and I think I'm too jaded, really, living in New York. You know, you've been here too long when you're walking down the street and a gun goes off behind you and you don't even turn around to see what it was. And you get home that night and discover you were shot. And you still go out dancing that night. Blood shooting out of your head like a sprinkler. It's too jaded. But it's spooky all over, man. I was in North Carolina, the home of my spiritual hero, Jesse Helms. Jesse's up for re-election. I asked people down there what his chances were. They said, "Oh, Jesse's going to win, you know, because he's the lesser of 2 evils." Really? They find Hitler alive in Charleston or what? What's the deal? Jesse's against pornography. Pornography. I don't think you should be against something until you can pronounce it. New rule. Causes sexual thoughts. Yeah, so what? Good, great. What's wrong with sex? I find it interesting, people who are against sexual thoughts are generally these fundamentalist Christians who also believe you should be fruitful and multiply. Seems like they would support sexual thoughts, you know? Perhaps a centerfold in the Bible. Miss Deuteronomy. I did that joke in North Carolina. 3 rednecks met me after the show. "Hey, buddy, come here." "Hey, buddy, we're Christians. We don't like what you said." I said, "Then forgive me." Later, when I was hanging from the tree, same people pick on rock and roll. I'm getting tired of that, too. "Oh, it's the devil's music." Yeah, remember that thing? You play certain rock albums backwards. They're satanic messages, right? Let me tell you something. If you're playing your albums backwards, you are Satan, okay? Don't ruin my stereo to prove a point. It's the devil's music. Well, I'll tell you what. If it is the devil's music, at least he rocks, okay? If it's a choice between eternal hell and good tunes and eternal heaven and New Kids on the Block, I'm going to be surfing on the lake of fire, jamming. Because you know, if you play New Kids on the Block albums backwards, they sound better. Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good.
Bill Hicks wants to kill tomorrow night.
I think the important thing now is to try.
And this man is going to help him.
You're on a mission. You're on a comedy mission.
Producer Frank Gannon decides which comedians will appear on Late Night with David Letterman.
The language is very violent. You bomb, you die, you kill. They're right here. But the stakes are very high.
Tonight, they're club hopping.
How you doing?
Getting audience reaction to the material Hicks will use on tomorrow night's show.
Bill knows what we're looking for, and he's been working on this for a couple of months.
And Gannon works with the comics, sometimes for several months, to fine-tune their 5-minute set for the show.
This is the best job in show business. Power without responsibility.
All right. How is the house tonight?
Good, about 2:30.
How much time do you spend with Ted Turner?
Gannon's qualifications for the job?
Have you met Jane?
He has a Ph.D. from Oxford and was an assistant to President Nixon.
Well, I say that I've worked for the two great laugh-getters of the 20th century and that I worked for Richard Nixon for 7 years, and now I've been here for 4 years.
Please welcome Mr. Bill Hicks.
For any comic coming on to distill their entire act into 5 minutes, that's the challenge.
Thank you. How you doing tonight?
It's always the challenge.
Good. I'm a little distraught ever since the war thing. I'm not over it yet. Because I was in the very unenviable position of being for the war, but against the troops. And I feel totally taken by the media, too. Remember how they started off talking about Iraq? The 4th largest army in the world. Ooh. Let me tell you something. After the first 3 largest armies, there's a real big drop-off. The Hare Krishnas are the 5th largest army in the world, and they've already got our airports.
What qualifies you to know what people want and what will work? How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I've been wondering this, too.
I'm omniscient. Omniscience is not some are born omniscient, some achieve it, and some have it thrust upon them.
The Hare Krishnas are the 5th largest army in the world, and they've already got our airports.
Club number 2.
I am the 6th largest army in the world. Something like that, only 50 times funnier.
My problem is I'll sometimes have to fight.
Dear sweet Jesus.
I will say that it's my judgment that a joke will not work with our audience, or that once you got the big laugh, get on to the next subject. And the comedian will say, yeah, but in the club I've got this tag, and I know it's not as big a laugh, but it ends the set, it's the button on the whole thing. It's those kinds of arguments. And
you've got to say thanks, but no thanks.
Well, sometimes, I mean, you hardly know me at all, but I've never been wrong.
Oh, really?
See, as we get to know one another better, you'll come to understand and appreciate that. And it's a burden. It's not something I sought.
You trust his judgment? How does that collaboration work?
It's not a matter of trusting his judgment. I know that I can't get on without their approval of the material. As far as what's funny, I know what's funny. Now, I also know there's certain parameters when you do network TV. They tell you, oh, we like you on our show because you're edgy or your point of view. But when you come on our show, could you not do those? It's like they fit you for a dress and heels. Now go out there and be you. Well, this isn't me.
But Hicks has managed to live with the ground rules. This will be his 8th appearance on the show.
Hey, Paul. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. What song you on?
There are only so many really funny people.
I like that, too. I like that.
We're only after the great ones.
Yeah, Foxy Laney.
And once you get back to home base when Dave thanks you, just stay seated.
You got it.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, Biff.
All right, 7 then, Bill Hicks, 5 minutes, and what's his out cue, please?
Pry it from my hands.
Right. Thank you.
When do you think I'm going to go on?
About 6:20 is the answer to your question.
Cool.
6:18.
Okay. Thanks.
See you.
All right. Frank Gannon drags the 48-hour boys in here to shoot this little piece about him and Bill Hicks. I get it? Where's the camera now? Well, invite him just to come in, just real quick.
Oh, here they are. Wait a minute. No, I didn't say that far. Get right back over there. Are you guys from CBS?
48 hours.
48 hours. Does Dan know you have his equipment? Hey, no, come on. Yo!
Our next guest is a very intense and very funny young man.
Everybody wants to be the best in their field.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Hicks.
For comics, I think late night is being at the top of your profession. It's the ultimate achievement. It's what everybody works for and dreams of.
Thank you. Good evening. It's great to be back. How are you doing?
You know, there was a time when I seriously thought about leaving television and just traveling around to schools and churches and putting on little displays like that. I can't seem to miss it. Seems almost like I'm a machine. Do you have any? You know, I'm a little jumpy tonight. Yeah, before the show, thank you very much, Marty. Before the show, this Frank Gannon, another one of our staff members. Frank Gannon, you know Frank.
He is our segment
Frank has
producer.
set up this deal with CBS, this show, 42 minutes, 48 hours.
48 hours.
It's like that thing. It's a longer version of 60 Minutes is what that is. And they follow somebody around for 2 days, and Dan Rather is hosting it. And Frank says, these people are coming over, and they're going to follow me around for 2 days. And nobody really wants to help Frank out because we're worried Dan Rather will show up. So he says, well, at least before the show, could you come by and say hello to me and Bill Hicks, the comedian who's on a little later? And I said, well, okay, Frank, if it means anything to you, I'll be happy to.
So that the camera crew would record
exactly.
that.
So it's all part of this, and it looks like a big show. So I grabbed Gaines. Gaines, where are you? Yeah, see? And I said, all right, Barbara, let's go down, and we're going to make Frank look like a big shot. So we go down and we go down and say hello to Bill Hicks, right? We knock on the door, he opens the door. There's no camera crew or nothing in there. It's Bill and his manager. So me and Barbara are sitting there talking about miniature golf with this guy for 10 minutes. And the camera crew and Frank are where? They're down in Hurley's, having a beer. Where's the camera now?
They're in the green room.
Well, invite him just to come in, just real quick. Yeah, and Gaines, get the Windex. Get the Windex. What?
Why am I here?
Yeah.
This is
See, this is just the reason we didn't want those weasels from 60 Minutes or 48 Hours snooping around here, because you make a mistake like this and it makes everybody look bad.
Here they are.
Oh, here they are. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I didn't say that far. Get right back over there. Are you guys from CBS? 48 Hours. Does Dan know you have his equipment? Okay, all right. Hang on a second. You stand right over there. We have things to do. How many people are over there?
About 4 or 5.
Okay, I think I've had enough of you folks. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Gaines, forget the Windex. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Yeah, oh, sure. You go clean it for him. Hey, come on out here again. Hey, come here. Hey, have a little something on your lens. Go ahead, get it. Go ahead, clean it. Oh, no, clean it off.
I don't think he
Okay,
wants
then
to
get out of here. You people, no, come on. Yo! See, that's exactly why we didn't want those weenies in here.
Yeah. No. Makes sense.
What, they didn't want it cleaned?
No.
Yeah, hand me the ball. Quiet in here now, isn't it? This is a prime example of how no good deed goes unpunished. All right, Frank Gannon drags the 48-hour boys in here to shoot this little piece about him and Bill Hicks. I go down to say hello. The CBS crew is not there. Okay. We don't know where they are. Okay, so I'm trying to be a nice person about this. I invite the little Weasley CBS crew into our studio, unheard of, unprecedented in the history of network television.
I was impressed.
All right, they come in. It's goofball camera boy. And a couple of, like, his manicurist and, I don't know, wardrobe guy. They come in and they waste a lot of valuable time of our show. Right, Paul? They waste.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got more important things to do than talk to these guys coming in.
Yeah.
All right, so now it turns out they didn't get any of that on videotape. None of it was videotaped. Now, do you know why?
Why?
Well, Mr. Goofball Cameraman says he had to protect himself because I was throwing footballs at him. You know, these ain't exactly Scud missiles we're talking about. Mr. Weenie Boy is worried about getting Windex on the camera or maybe getting hit with a football. Oh, we hate to muss his hair with one of these 200-pound footballs we're throwing around here. So now they want to come back in, don't they, Morty? Yeah. No, that's it. That's it. Twice now I've tried to help them out. I can't keep 2 networks afloat, can I? And you talk about Willard being nuts. What about that Rather? Huh?
He shoots, he scores!
Yeah, that was CBS's combat unit they had in here.
Crack team, yeah.
He's throwing balls at me. I couldn't tape him. I was nervous. Our next guest is a very intense and very funny young man who has been on this program a number of times, and he's back again tonight. He has his own HBO one-night stand program, which premieres this Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Hicks. Bill!
Thank you. Good evening. It's great to be back. How are you doing? Good. Lots happened since I've been here. The war, you know, very stressful for me. I was in the unenviable position of being for the war, but against the troops. And just immoral. All those men living together in little tents. Surprised more of y'all didn't speak out against that. I think the most amazing thing about the war was the disparity in the casualties. They had Iraq 100,000. We had 79. Does that mean if we had sent over 80 guys, we still would have won this thing, or what? One guy in a ticker-tape parade. I did it. Hey. Good work, Tommy. No biggie. I feel totally taken by the media, too, trying to build it all up. You know what I mean? Iraq, the 4th largest army in the world. Yeah, well, after the first 3 largest armies, there's a real big drop-off. The Hare Krishnas are the 5th largest army in the world, and they've already got our airports. I am the 6th largest army in the world. Let's give you a perspective. Too much violence in the world, man. I was over in England. You know, in England, no one has handguns, not even the cops. And in England last year, they had 14 deaths from handguns. Now, in the United States, I think you know how we feel about guns. Whew, I'm getting a warm, tingly feeling just saying the word. 27,000 deaths from handguns. Let's go through those numbers again. England, no handguns, 14 deaths. United States, 27,000 deaths. But there's no connection. You'd be a fool and a communist to make one. But admittedly, in England last year, they had 27,000 deaths per soccer game. Okay? Not saying every system is flawless. You know, it's weird. They have a very high crime rate, and yet no guns. How does that work, you know? Guy goes into a bank. All the money now. Oh, I've got a soccer ball. Ian, that's a Spalding. He's serious. Too much violence. I was down south recently working. I'm not proud of it. I got to make rent. And I'm down there working in this town called Fife, Alabama. And in this town, last year in Fife, Alabama, they had all these UFO sightings. And I'm down there, so I asked people what it was like, you know. And they said, well, it was incredible. People came from miles around to look at them. A lot of people showed up armed. What? They're bringing shotguns to UFO sightings, man. Kind of brings whole new meaning to that phrase. You ain't from around here, are you, boy? Yep, they're little green people. We call them boogers. So I asked the guy, I said, why do y'all bring shotguns to UFO sightings? He said, well, we don't want to be abducted. Thinking, yeah, and leave all this. But man, if I lived in this town, I'd be on my hands and knees every day praying for abduction, all right? I wouldn't be picky. Greyhound, abduct me. I said, what do you mean abducted? And he said, well, they abduct people and perform scientific and medical experiments on them. Yeah, well, maybe you'll be lucky and it's some type of sterility dentistry program. Maybe they come down here, castrate you, straighten your teeth, and split. We're going to clean up the universe pact. I'm telling you, that's starting to bug me about UFOs, too. The fact that they travel millions of miles to visit us and go to Fife, Alabama. Maybe these are not super intelligent beings. Maybe they're hillbilly aliens. Some intergalactic Jode family. Don't y'all want to land in New York or L.A.? Nah, we just had a long trip. We want to kick back and whittle some. Oh, my God, they're idiots. Last thing I want to see is a flying saucer up on blocks in front of a trailer. Some bumper sticker on it. They'll get my ray gun when they pry my cold, dead 18-fingered hand off of it. Thank you.
Our next guest made his network television debut on this very program and his second comedy album entitled Relentless. I have a copy of it right here. This will be available in the record stores in April. So, folks, do us a favor. Welcome back to the program, Bill Hicks. Bill.
Thank you. Just flew in. Let me get this straight. They don't allow smoking on airplanes, right? But they allow children. All right, whatever. I smoke, so I'm trying to quit flying. And I would quit smoking, but you non-smokers make me want to smoke. You make me so nervous, you know. Say the dumbest things. I was down at 42nd and 8th earlier doing some late Christmas shopping for myself. And this guy says to me, "Hey, man, quit smoking. You get your sense of smell back." Which is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm in 42nd and 8th Street in New York City. My sense of smell. Is that urine? I think I smell a dead guy. Honey, look, a dead guy. Covered in urine. Check this out. Just think, if I'd been smoking, I never would have found him. It's good to be in New York. People at least outside, you know, people don't go out anymore, man, you know? Because you watch the news, you get the impression you walk out your door, you're immediately going to be raped by some crack-addicted, AIDS-infected pit bull, you know? Just some horrible CNN tale. Honey, I'm going to check the mail. What do you say we stay inside tonight, honey? Let the Domino's guy deal with that thing out there. Yeah, Domino's, send another car over. I know it's the third one. That last guy almost made it. Pretty soon, we're all going to be locked in our homes, man. No one in the street but Domino's guys and armored Chevettes with turrets. Yeah, the news is too apocalyptic, man. You ever sit around and watch CNN longer than, say, 20 hours in one day? It's unbelievable. Watch just the headline news at the beginning. This half hour, war, famine, death, AIDS, homeless, recession, depression, drought, flood, and the Hollywood Minute. I don't like Ted Turner because he's colorizing black and white films. Don't do that. He says if you colorize black and white films, more people will watch them. Yeah, maybe that's why people don't read anymore. Books are in black and white. Maybe Ted Turner's next venture will be to turn every book into a coloring book. Boy, I love reading. Yeah, you're going out of the line. Oh, no, I've been reading all day. And I'm sick of these polls, man, on CNN. I'm sick of the polls. I've never been polled. By round of applause, how many people here have never been polled? About 60% of you. Well, I just polled you, so there. They're so misleading. I saw one that said, how many people disapprove of George Bush's handling of the country? 79%. Of these same people, how many will vote for him again in November? 79%. Where did they take that poll at? Some S&M parlor? Ow, more. Ow, don't stop. And I'm sick of these test audiences for movies. You know, I went and saw Basic Instinct over the weekend. Highly disappointed. And I come to find out all the lesbian love scenes were cut out because a test audience was turned off by them. Boy, is my thumb not on the pulse of America here. If I had been in that test audience, the only one out front protesting would be Michael Douglas, demanding his part be put back in. It's disgusting. And Geraldo, I watched Geraldo. He got plastic surgery done on himself on the air in the name of journalism. Yeah, I can't wait till he tries that Kevorkian suicide machine.
You know, that Regis got himself quite a show, but has he got one of these? Oh, sir. Let me tell you something, folks. That is actual radioactive steam.
Oh, great.
Okay, let's bring out the next boy, see what he can do. We got him stacked up back there in the bunkhouse and rodeo cowboys. Our next guest made his network television debut right here on this very program, a fact of which we're quite proud. He will be appearing live at Caroline's here in New York City. Where's that located, Bob, Caroline's?
Broadway and 49th Street.
Have they scheduled the next fire? It's Broadway and 49th. Broadway and 49th, so try and get over there. He will be out at that place tomorrow through November the 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bill Hicks. Bill.
Thank you. Great to be back in New York. My favorite time of the year, too, fall. It's beautiful here. So I'm living out on the West Coast now. Cultural cesspool. Hell A, that's what I call it. Always warm and sunny, no seasons, and they love it, right? Isn't it great? Always hot and sunny. Isn't it just great? What are you, a lizard? Only reptiles feel that way about this weather, you know? You always meet this smug guy, right? He goes, I love calling back east on January 1st. What are y'all doing? Snowed in, huh? Bummer. Me? I'm out by the pool. What an idiot. I used to love calling L.A. from New York when I lived here. What are y'all doing? Talking to TV producers. Bummer. Me? I'm reading a book. Yeah. We're thinking back east. Yeah, we're evolving. Is that the big one I hear in the background? Bye, lizard scum. Bye. Horrible place. Home of the pedestrian right-of-way law. You know what this is? A pedestrian steps on the street, every car has to stop to let this person cross the road. Seems ludicrous in light of the city we're in at this point right now, doesn't it? Where if someone steps in front of your car here, you speed up and turn your wipers on. Bad call, brother. Pedestrians. I think that's good. So I flew in yesterday, 4.5-hour flight. Let me get this straight now. They don't allow smoking on airplanes, right? But they allow children. I'm a smoker, so I'm trying to quit flying. And so I get on this plane, right, and I luck out. Every seat next to me empty. Cool, I'm going to sleep. No shame. Every armrest goes up. Pillows, blankets on my head. I'm out of here, man. Which I love doing because it really bugs those business guys sitting around you. One guy actually said to me, hey, is that allowed? I said, no, I bought every seat. Shut up. I love taking $6,000 naps, you idiot. Go back to your Macintosh, monkey boy. Just because you're in the sky don't mean you can't work for the man. Hey, I think I hear your jacket wrinkling in the overhead compartment. So I'm asleep on this plane, right? And I feel this tapping on my head, and I look up, and there's this little kid loose on this plane, right? And he's just tapping me on the head. I look across the aisle at his mom. She's just smiling. Guy next to the mom goes, "They're so cute when they're that small." Isn't that amazing, letting a little kid run loose like that? And the kid runs over to the emergency exit, and he starts flipping that handle to the door. The guy next to the mom starts to get up, and I go, "Wait a minute." We're about to learn an important lesson right here. And you're right, the smaller he gets, the cuter he is. Stewardess, since we got a breeze in here, can we smoke now? True story. I quit smoking cigarettes 8 weeks ago. Absolutely true. No cigarettes, 8 weeks. Unbelievable miracle. Yeah, I earned it. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I earned it. Thank you. I did earn it, yeah. Very hard, let no one kid you. Cigarettes look great to me right now. Every cigarette looks like it was made by God, rolled by Jesus, and licked closed by Claudia Schiffer right now. God, that looks good. And I don't know how to quit. My friends recommended that patch thing, you know, the patch. But I don't see how that works, you know, unless you wear it over your mouth. What's he saying? I think he wants a cigarette. Put it up your nose? I don't think the patch is helping him. Of course, out in L.A., they're very tolerant of smokers, you can imagine. I was driving around once, smoking a cigarette in my car, windows rolled up. I heard this honky next to me. Lady, I have no idea who she is, going. She runs right into a pole, right? Thank you.
Gentlemen, Bill Hicks. We'll pause for a commercial and continue in a minute. Thank you. Okay, welcome back to the program. Bill Hicks is here. Very funny. Nice job. Very, very funny as always.
Thank you.
How are things in your life generally? You mentioned some things in your stand-up there. How's your social life? How's your dating life? What's your personal? How are things going there? Anything we'd like to know?
Nothing.
Really? Yeah, that's hard to figure.
It's hard to have a relationship in this business.
Yeah. Business
Not
of...
for you. You have a check coming in every week. For those who have to work week by week.
I see. Yeah.
But, you know, it's weird hours, and you're traveling all the time, and it's going to take, you know, a very special woman, you know, or a bunch of average ones. Now, to tell you... I've got it covered either way.
And you mentioned Los Angeles, that you're not crazy about living there, and do you live there completely now, full-time, or do you split your time up between here and there, or what?
I live there completely. I just don't like it there. You know, they're all into this inner child stuff, which I don't
know what that is exactly.
I don't either. But people come up, "Are you in touch with your inner child? Have you found your inner child?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I found a picture of him on a milk carton. Leave me alone, please. Do me a favor, get in touch with your outer adult." Yeah, that's the way I'd go. You're 43 years old. Leave the child go. It's a good childhood. It's over.
You're originally from Texas?
Right.
And you still have folks, family, and friends back there?
Yes, friends,
family. Must be very proud of your success and so forth?
Sure. Yeah. I haven't needed money for years from them, so that's cool. Whatever. They don't even know what I do. Yeah. I just haven't been writing.
And you're getting ready. You're going to Great Britain for a while?
That's right.
Yeah.
I was over there during the L.A. riots, and it was interesting to have... First of all, the timing. I left the day the riots happened. I left L.A. Bye, Bill. Enjoy England. I will. landed at Heathrow 11 hours later, past a newspaper stand, L.A. burns to ground.
Wow.
I'm thinking, man, did I leave a cigarette lit? How much are these? I have my pictures in here, man.
Look for your picture.
And then I'm over there trying to get news of the riots.
Yeah.
And they have 4 channels, and all 4 are playing snooker for no apparent reason. And the Brits are trying to sympathize, right? You know, they're going, oh, Bill, crime's horrible. It's terrible here, too. Just, no, it's not. You gotta hear it. Crime in England's like, yesterday, some hooligans knocked over a dustbin in Shaftesbury.
Hooligans. We need to pause one more time. We'll be right back with Bill Hicks. Okay. Bill, thank you very much. Have a nice time here in New York City at Caroline's, and also good luck in England. My apologies now to Mark Lehner. We got carried away and ran out of time, and he will not be here tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to break it to you. As soon as it's possible, we'll have him back here on the program once again. My apologies to him. My thanks to Kathy Lee Gifford. Tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Howard Stearns. Good night, everybody. I told you you'd all get something to eat. That's one of our interns. I'm dying to see his resume about a year from now. Oh, geez, I see you were the late-night P-boy. Our next guest is an original stand-up comedian who we always enjoy having him with us on the program. Now, on March 24th through the 28th, this man will be performing right here in New York City in Manhattan at Caroline's Comedy Club. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the always dangerous Bill Hicks. Bill!
Thank you. How you doing tonight? Good. I living out in L.A. now, so I'm very glad to be here. It's very tense out there right now, you know, as they begin principal shooting on L.A. Riots, the sequel. As soon as the director yells, "Not guilty." Yeah. Oh, it's ugly out there. These cops testifying. They're unbelievable. This one cop testified yesterday that Rodney King, while they were beating him, was acting very weird. Explain that. Well, he was crying, yelling, and cursing. I think it's a safe bet it's this cop's first beating. It's going to become a recurring theme. I recommend earplugs for the next one, all right? Yeah, remember the defense they had last time, that Rodney King beating tape that we all saw over and over again? Their defense was that tape is all in how you look at it. Really? Well, how are y'all looking at that? Well, it's how you look at it. For instance, if you play it backwards, you see us help King up and send him on his way. Not guilty. Unbelievable, man. I'm glad to be out of there. I'm traveling a lot. I was in Dallas, Texas recently. Yeah, I was down there. It's really gruesome. They actually have a museum on the 6th floor of the school book depository called the Assassination Museum. I believe named that after the assassination. I'm not sure the exact chronology here, but it's really weird. They have the window set up to look exactly like it did on that day, and it's really accurate, you know, because Oswald's not in it. Yeah, it's amazing. They have, it's called the sniper's nest, and you can't get to the window itself. And the reason they did that, of course, they didn't want thousands of American tourists getting to that window each year, you know, going, "There's no way! I can't even see the road!" Yeah. There's no way. Not unless Oswald was hanging by his toes, upside down, from the ledge. Surely someone would have seen that. Either that or some pigeons grabbed onto him and flew him over the motorcade. You know, there was rumors of anti-Castro pigeons seen drinking in bars the night before. Someone overheard them saying, "Coo, coo." Thank you. It's a long way to go for a pun. So what they got down in Texas? Again, this madman from Waco. Everyone's upset because this guy's calling himself Jesus. Hey, the guy's real name is Vernon. Give him a break, all right? Isn't that weird? How come no one ever claims to be Buddha, you know? Why not, you know, lock yourself in a Chinese restaurant and demand to read fortune cookies over the radio, you know? You will be the life of any party you are at. He's a madman. You will be well thought of in your old age. Seems like people would want to be Buddha more, and Americans resemble Buddha a lot more than Jesus, don't they? I won't be Buddha. Very short jump from Bubba to Buddha, you know? Put it right on your belt there. Buddha. That's me. People are snapping right and left. I'm going to snap eventually. I'm going to, man. I live out in L.A. I got a white car. Every time it gets dirty, someone writes "wash me" on the side of my car. And I finally found out who it is, my landlady. She's like 600 pounds, crouched behind my car, writing "wash me" on the side of it. You know, I come up, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, well, your car's dirty." I said, "Well, you're fat. I'm not carving trim me in your stomach." Thank you very much. Bill Hicks, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Because it was recently on the David Letterman show on October 9th that I did the show, taped the show at 5:30 in New York, and then at 7 p.m. was called by the producer and told that I would be excised completely from the show. I, of course, asked why. The material had been approved and reapproved by the producers. And they said that CBS had deemed the material, these are quotation marks, unsuitable for the viewing public and for the Letterman audience. And I made the point that when I'm not on the show, I'm a member of the Letterman audience, so ultimately what you're saying is my material is not suitable for me. What a predicament. So anyway, I was censored from the show, and I kind of, there's not a, you know, there's a little pride in that. I mean, a lot of people have been bleeped and burped, and but actually what happened was I did some material about the pro-life people. And the joke I did was very simple. All I said was, if you're so pro-life, do me a favor, don't lock arms and block medical clinics. Lock arms and block cemeteries. Let's see how committed you are to this premise. It could even be construed as pro-life if you wanted to make that argument. Anyway, they counted that as one of the quote-unquote hot points that I touched on. Here's the punchline. Monday night during the Letterman show, a commercial airs for pro-life. So see, we just had a misunderstanding. I thought I lived in the U.S. of A., United States of America, and actually we live in the U.S. of A., United States of advertising. Freedom of expression is guaranteed if you've got the money. Okay.
Just for the price. Jeez, man.
And other hot points I hit on the set, which was, again, approved and reapproved by the Letterman segment producer.
Until, of course, it was time to do it.
Until after I did it.
Until after it was done.
And the other material I touched on was Jesus, which they don't want any discussion, which I find so funny. I mean, it doesn't matter what angle you take on it. The fact that a comedian's talking about Jesus, people might construe it as sacrilegious. And in fact, it wasn't what I said. All I said was a lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. You think when Jesus comes back, he's going to want to see a cross. It's just an observation. It's no big deal. I didn't go up and say the Pope sleeps with burros, you know, although I believe he does. I didn't say that. Anyway, the point is that the lines are lighting up on the Pope thing. See, immediately.
Yeah, of course.
What do you say about the Pope? I love the Pope.
Man, I'm down with the Pope, man.
I love seeing him in his Pope-mobile, his 3 feet of bulletproof plexiglass. That's faith in action, folks. Okay. You know he's got God on his side. Anyway, the point I'm making is about the idea of freedom of expression, and I believe that there's this agenda in mainstream media, and I think it's fairly easy to back this up, to keep people stupid, docile, and apathetic, and therefore the elite who own these corporations and the families that own the corporations, even fewer people, their agenda is to keep us stupid and apathetic. That's why I love public access, and again, thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for coming out.
I appreciate it.
So Dave also likes you.
Dave likes me, but what I found out subsequently to all this, and oh, by the way, I don't mean to keep pushing my own little horn here, but tooting my horn, but on Monday, this Monday, in the New Yorker magazine, there's a profile about me, including this story about Letterman. I found out that it's one of Dave's rules that he doesn't like comics to talk about Jesus on the show. Which I find really weird. I mean, they pretend to be this hip, late-night talk show, when in actuality they're as mainstream as anything. And again, it doesn't matter what angle you take on the Jesus subject. That's what bugs me. Just because I'm a comic doesn't mean I'm treating it with disrespect.
Jesus in person?
Organized religion.
Ah.
But, you know, there's a lot, you know, for instance, let me just give you an example. See, what they do is they kowtow to a minority that's very vocal. Reasonable people don't write letters. Reasonable people have lives. Reasonable people know it's just a joke. Reasonable people know it's just TV. They know they can change the channel or they'll wait and something else will come on.
Sure.
See, reasonable people don't get it active. It's these minorities, these fundamentalists who are totally organized, and they are a minority, and who are the ones trying to set this agenda for America. And but come to find out, Dave, you know, I guess $14 million was his price. You know what I mean? Everyone has a price, they say.
Oh, man.
Luckily, I don't have any money, so it doesn't matter my price.
Let me tell you a little bit about the program tonight. We have a lovely woman by the name of Mary Hicks. And I'm guessing you perhaps don't recognize this woman's name, but her son, Bill Hicks, yes, was a stand-up comedian, and he appeared on our old show, Late Night, 11 times, and we always loved Bill. He was tremendously funny and had a great energy, and we just got a big kick out of him. And his first late-night performance was November 15th, 1984. 1984. That's so long ago now.
I can't remember.
And it was exciting that night because it was his network television debut. Huh. And his 12th appearance, we had him on this show, October 1st, 1993. And he came out and he did his stand-up about 5 or 6 minutes. And afterwards, in considering what I had seen, and it was an error of judgment on my part, just a mistake.
Really?
I made a decision, I think, born of insecurity more than anything else, and I said, I don't think we want to have that on the show. So we removed it from the show. Right. And when I say we, I mean the production staff, but the decision was mine.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And like I say, looking back on it, I had no real reason. I don't know why, and I'm sorry that I did, and it was a mistake. So what we're going tonight, and then the sad part of this story was later, the following year, February 26th, which coming up, oddly enough, will be about 15 years, the anniversary of Bill's death. He passed away on February 26th in 1994. He was only 32 years old, and sadly had pancreatic cancer. But I think only a few members of his family and friends knew it at the time, and we found out about it, of course, later. So as you grow older, things come in and out of your mind, and you think, well, you can't really correct mistakes you have made in life all the time. But I thought, perhaps just symbolically here tonight, we will have Bill's mother on, talk about his life and his career, and then we will show you what was taken out of this show back on October 1st, 1993. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be right back. Oh, also, look at this. The Gaslight Anthem. The 59 sound. We'll be right back with tonight's Top 10 list, everybody. And there you go. And there you go. And there you go. Thank you, Felicia. And nice job. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice welcome to the mother of the late, great comedian, Bill Hicks, the lovely Mary Hicks. Everyone. Thank you very much for being so gracious and so generous to come and visit with us here so we could take a look at Bill's shot on the program that never got on. And let me again, if I haven't previously, just apologize for the heartache and sadness that my decision caused you and your family. And of course, made all the worse by the knowledge that at the time Bill was terribly, terribly sick. And not many people knew that, did they?
Very few.
Very few, yeah.
And I appreciate you saying that.
And when the diagnosis, it was pancreatic cancer, is it true that he moved back into home with you folks?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. That must have been a wonderful time in an odd way, of course.
In an odd way it was. It was a privilege, and it was what I expected. You know, most people, when they're sick, want their mother.
Yeah.
So he came home. Of course, you know, he was continuing to go out on...
He was still working?
He worked until January.
Mm-hmm. And did you learn things about his life on the road as a comic that maybe a mother doesn't want to know?
Well, I found out.
Yeah.
And it should have curled my hair, but it didn't. And yes, he did try to tell me what he had been doing from the time he left home at 18. And some of it, you know, should have bothered me, but at that time it didn't, because I knew Bill, and he had come out of the bad part of the time that he had. Mm-hmm. So I listened, and no, and I would not have had him go through that if I had had my choice.
Did you know early on, did he know early on that he wanted to be a comic? I'll bet he knew maybe long before you knew.
Well, he knew a long time before I knew. He always said when he was, up until the time he got interested in comedy, that he was going to Texas A&M to be a vet.
Oh.
He loved animals, and that's what he wanted to do. And then he got interested in watching Johnny Carson, and he read books about Woody Allen, so he got interested in that. He said that he saw Johnny Carson on TV, and he thought, "Ooh, you mean you can make a living doing that?" So he decided. He decided that's what he would do.
Yeah, yeah. And did he perform early? Could you, looking back, did you remember, oh, I see what he was doing. He was trying his comedy on the family or, parties or stuff?
Dave, there are no showbiz people in our family. Mm-hmm. So what he did, we just thought was our child doing that. We certainly didn't think it would go into a career. Not for a long time. But
where is your family from, by the way? We should mention that.
Well, that's hard to tell because we moved so much. But we lived for 12 years in Houston, which is where Bill went through school, and that's where he got into comedy in Houston.
And was his early material, or maybe continuing, was it about family? Did you recognize jokes? Did you hear jokes about yourself?
Well, I didn't hear jokes about me for years, but I heard that he was telling jokes about me and the rest of the family. But, and, you know, that's all he knew when he first started.
Sure, that's right. And would you go see him perform when he was starting working in clubs and other venues and stuff?
No. He said that if we came, he wouldn't go up.
Mm-hmm.
So I, of course, didn't know about comedy clubs, and I thought, well, how strange. You know, if you're on the program, why don't you have to go up? So we didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
He asked us not to, so we didn't go.
Yeah.
And I will tell you something. He asked his dad and me to go see a musician that he admired. And so my husband said, well, Bill, can we have dinner there? And, of course, Bill thought that was real funny because that was not the kind of place where they had served dinner.
Right.
But we went, and Bill did not go with us. He went with a group of friends. And my husband and I sat at this little table, and some young man came and sat at the next table to us by himself. And he kept looking at us, and finally he said, well, what are y'all doing here? Because we were the only old people in there. and we said, well, we came to see this musician. And I said, well, what are you doing here? And he said, well, he was a college student, and on his way home, he heard that this man was performing, and he liked him, so he just came straight there. But he couldn't understand why we were there. Mm-hmm. And then Bill came over and spoke to us. So, you know, I guess he realized why we were there. But anyway, Bill pulled things like that on us sometimes.
So do you remember anything about the musician you saw that night?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How was he?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What kind of music?
Well, can I tell his name?
Oh, sure. I think that would be useful.
His name is Eric. What is Eric's last name? Eric Johnson.
Oh, Eric Johnson.
He's very good.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever heard of him?
No. Paul? Eric Johnson?
Is he a surfer?
No.
Galveston,
Well,
on the Galveston coast of the Gulf of Mexico, Galveston?
He could, but I don't think so.
I thought so.
No, I think that...
How did you feel about coming here tonight? Was this an easy decision for you to make? I mean, I was... I thought.
Were you surprised that I accepted?
I believe I'm surprised when anybody comes here. No, wasn't surprised, but part of me thought, well, she has every reason not to come here.
That's right. I had a lot of reasons not to come, and I thought about it, and then I decided to come.
Good. I'm glad you're here, and again. I know I can't make up for the damage that was caused, but I hope symbolically this means something to you.
Well, it does.
Right.
And I will tell you that was a very hard time 15 years ago when that happened. And I just will have to tell you that it was.
Well, I'm well aware of that.
I know that.
I don't know personally how difficult it was, but I can certainly, now that I have a son, I can certainly imagine what that
You had to have a child to know.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, what else do you want to know?
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Mary. When we come back, we're going to play the tape from October 1st, 1993. We'll be right back with Bill Hicks, everybody. Here we go. So this will be now October 1st, 1993, and I think it's safe to say that some of the references now, I mean 16 years ago, are not going to seem perhaps all that contemporary, but I bet it'll just be fine. Must have seen the videotape, right? This is not the first time you've seen it?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it recently.
Yeah, and when you see it, you must be very happy and pleased to have seen it, and sad also, obviously.
Really? I mean, I'm all of that.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to take a look here tonight, and I want you folks to enjoy this, honestly. Here he is now doing stand-up comedy on this stage in a segment that I had taken out of our program October 1st, 1993. Here's the very funny Bill Hicks.
Thank you. Good evening. Very excited to be here tonight, and I got some great news today. I finally got my own TV show coming out as a replacement show this fall. Yeah. Thank you. It's not a talk show. Don't worry. It's a half-hour weekly show that I will host entitled Let's Hunt and Kill Billy Ray Cyrus. Thank you. It's fairly self-explanatory. Each week we let the hounds of hell loose. We chase that jarhead, no-talent, cracker idiot all over the globe. Till I finally catch that fruity little ponytail of his, pull him to his knees, put a shotgun in his mouth. Then we'll be back in '94 with Let's Hunt and Kill Michael Bolton. Also look out for our Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, Marky Mark Christmas special. And I don't want to give away any surprises, but Marky Mark's the first one we catch and kill on that show because his pants kept falling around his ankles and he couldn't run away. I crossbow him right in the abs. Bring the whole kids, the family, and everything. It's a Christmas spectacular. I don't know what my deal is. I'm like a 31-year-old curmudgeon. That's the deal. You know, I went to a dance club the other day, you know, and dragged against my will, you know. And this girl asked me to dance, which I thought was hilarious, you know. Would you like to dance? You know, I'm like, yeah, you read my mind, you know. That's why I'm leaning in the darkest corner closest to the exit, you know. I'm about to boogie. I'm about to cut a rug. But it's weird. Women have this weird myth. You can tell the way a guy is in bed by how he is on a dance floor. I think that's ridiculous. What does it matter? You know what I mean? If a guy is on a dance floor really getting into it, enjoying himself, expressing himself, what does it matter how he is in bed? He's gay. Real men don't dance. They sit, sweat, and curse. Speaking of homosexuality, you know, I consider myself fairly open-minded, but something has come to my attention I find absolutely shocking. I don't know if you've heard about it. These new grade school books for children to teach them gay lifestyles. You know what I'm talking about? One of them is called Heather's Two Mommies. The other is called Daddy's New Roommate. I'm going to have to draw the line here, folks, and say this is absolutely disgusting, okay? It is grotesque and evil. I'm talking about Daddy's New Roommate. Heather's Two Mommies is pretty cool. I don't know if you really check that out. They're hugging on page 7. Oh, go, mommies, go, go. Anyway. It makes me miss my youth. People annoy me. You know what's really annoying me? These pro-life people. You ever look at their faces? I'm pro-life. Boy, don't they look it. They just exude joie de vivre, you know? You see them trying to go to an orphanage and adopt a kid. We're pro-life. We're here to adopt. Kids are just, oh, don't pick me. Oh, no. I'll eat gruel, 15 to a bed, no problem. Just keep Heather's Two Mommies coming and we're fine in here. I'm pro-life. You know, if you're really pro-life, do me a favor. Don't lock arms and block med clinics, okay? If you're so pro-life, do me a favor. Lock arms and block cemeteries, okay? Let's see how committed you are to this idea. She can't come in. She was 98. She was hit by a bus. There's options. Are we going to have her stuffed? What are we going to do with her? We're pro-life. That's the same look smokers give you, too. I'm a non-smoker. I'm a pro-life non-smoker. I'm getting that look a lot these days because I started smoking again, and I had 9 months without a cigarette, and I started again. And I'm getting that look. Are you applauding me starting or stopping? What are you? The smokers are, hey, you're back. non-smokers. It's terrible. I can't believe he started again. Why? After 9 months. I have this belief. If that scenario is at all true when you die and you go to heaven and St. Peter meets you at the gate, I have this belief the first thing he's going to ask you is, you got a light? You mean y'all smoke here? Yeah, that's why it's heaven. These aren't clouds. This is cigarette smoke, pal. Hell is the non-smoking section. You want to look at them for a minute? Okay. I can't believe what they do to their bodies. It's so smelly. It smells like an ashtray. Why do they want me to smell that? God, that's hellish. Exactly. Light up and come on in. Hendrix is on harp tonight. So I've been traveling. I was in Australia. Over Easter, which was interesting to note. They celebrate Easter the same way we do, commemorating the death and resurrection of Jesus by telling our children a giant bunny rabbit left chocolate eggs in the night. I wonder why we're messed up as a race. Anybody got any clues? I've read the Bible. Can't find the word bunny or chocolate anywhere in the book. Why those two things? Why not, goldfish left Lincoln logs in your sock drawer? Just making stuff up, go hog wild. But I think it's interesting to note how people act on religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. Nice sentiment. But do you think when Jesus comes back, he's really going to want to look at a cross? Ow. That may be why he hasn't shown up yet. He's going, man, they're still wearing crosses, Dad. I'm not going, no. They totally missed the point. I'm not going. Forget it. I'll go back as a bunny. But,
Just great. He looks tremendous, and I've not seen that videotape or any part of it since that night, and seeing it now, it raises the question: what was the matter with me? What was I thinking? That was just tremendous. He if anything. It says a great deal about me. It says more about me as a guy than it says about Bill, because there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just perfect. And the fact that, and I expected it to be somewhat dated, being that old, and it's not. It's just great. He, in fact, I guess this speaks to the suggestion that he was way ahead of his time. Mary, this has been a good night for me, and I hope a good night for you.
It's been a very good night.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you. We'll be right back with the Gaslight Anthem, everybody.
From New York, it's The Late Show with me, Dave. Tonight, actress Andie MacDowell, musician Graham Parker, and comedian Bill Hicks. Plus, Paul Schaefer of the CBS Orchestra. And now, your announcer for the evening, David Letterman.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful program for you here tonight. A very talented, very lovely woman, Andie MacDowell, is on the show. Beautiful. We're lucky to have her. Andie MacDowell. Oh, my. Also, Graham Parker is here. Now say hello to our good friend Paul Schaefer. He's right over there. Paul!
Our next guest is a very entertaining comedian, Bill Hicks. Bill, come on out here. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. We'll see you on Monday. Good night, everybody.
From New York, much scarier than Jurassic Park, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, actress Andie MacDowell, musician Graham Parker, and comedian Bill Hicks. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, your waiter for the evening, David Letterman.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful program for you here tonight. A very talented, very lovely woman, Andie MacDowell, is on the show. Beautiful. We're lucky to have her. Andie MacDowell. Oh, my. Also, Graham Parker is here, and, yeah, very funny comedian, Mr. Bill Hicks. Now say hello to our good friend, Paul Schaefer. He's right over there. Paul! Thank you, boy. Our next guest is a very entertaining comedian. He will be appearing at the Comedy Corner in West Palm Beach, Florida, October 5th through the 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the big program, Bill Hicks. Bill!
Thank you. Good evening. Very excited to be here tonight, and I got some great news today. I finally got my own TV show coming out as a replacement show this fall. Yeah. Thank you. It's not a talk show. Don't worry. It's a half-hour weekly show that I will host entitled Let's Hunt and Kill Billy Ray Cyrus. Thank you. It's fairly self-explanatory. Each week we let the hounds of hell loose. We chase that jarhead, no-talent, cracker idiot all over the globe. Till I finally catch that fruity little ponytail of his, pull him to his knees, put a shotgun in his mouth. Then we'll be back in '94 with Let's Hunt and Kill Michael Bolton. Also look out for our Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, Marky Mark Christmas special. And I don't want to give away any surprises, but Marky Mark's the first one we catch and kill on that show because his pants kept falling around his ankles and he couldn't run away. I crossbow him right in the ab. Bring the whole kids, the family, and everything. It's a Christmas spectacular. I don't know what my deal is. I'm like a 31-year-old curmudgeon. That's the deal. You know, I went to a dance club the other day, you know, and dragged against my will, you know. And this girl asked me to dance, which I thought was hilarious, you know. Would you like to dance? You know, I'm like, yeah, you read my mind, you know. That's why I'm leaning in the darkest corner closest to the exit, you know. I'm about to boogie.
I'm about to cut a rug. But it's weird. Women have this weird myth you can tell the way a guy is in bed by how he is on a dance floor. I think that's ridiculous. What does it matter? You know what I mean? If a guy is on a dance floor really getting into it, enjoying himself, expressing himself, what does it matter how he is in bed? He's gay. Real men don't dance. They sit, sweat, and curse. Speaking of homosexuality, you know, I consider myself fairly open-minded, but something has come to my attention I find absolutely shocking. I don't know if you've heard about it. These new grade school books for children to teach them gay lifestyles. You know what I'm talking about? One of them is called Heather's Two Mommies. The other is called Daddy's New Roommate. I'm going to have to draw the line here, folks, and say this is absolutely disgusting, okay? It is grotesque and evil. I'm talking about Daddy's New Roommate. Heather's Two Mommies is pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever checked that out. They're hugging on page 7. Oh, go, mommies, go, go. Anyway. Makes me miss my youth. People annoy me. You know what's really annoying me? These pro-life people. You ever look at their faces? I'm pro-life. Boy, don't they look it. They just exude joie de vivre, you know? You see them trying to go to an orphanage and adopt a kid. We're pro-life. We're here to adopt. Kids are just, oh, don't pick me. Oh, no. I'll eat gruel, 15 to a bed, no problem. Just keep Heather's Two Mommies coming and we're fine in here. I'm pro-life. You know, if you're really pro-life, do me a favor. Don't lock arms and block med clinics, okay? If you're so pro-life, do me a favor. Lock arms and block cemeteries, okay? Let's see how committed you are to this idea. She can't come in. She was 98. She was hit by a bus. There's options. Are we going to have her stuffed? What are we going to do with her? We're pro-life. That's the same look smokers give you, too. I'm a non-smoker. I'm a pro-life non-smoker. I'm getting that look a lot these days because I started smoking again, and I had 9 months without a cigarette, and I started again. And I'm getting that look. Are you applauding me starting or stopping? What are you? The smokers, hey, you're back. Non-smokers, it's terrible. I can't believe he started again. Why? After 9 months. I have this belief. If that scenario is at all true when you die and you go to heaven and St. Peter meets you at the gate, I have this belief the first thing he's going to ask you is, you got a light? You mean y'all smoke here? Yeah, that's why it's heaven. These aren't clouds. This is cigarette smoke, pal. Hell is the non-smoking section. You want to look at them for a minute? Okay. I can't believe what they do to their bodies. It's so smelly. It smells like an ashtray. Why do they want me to smell that? God, that's hellish. Exactly. Light up and come on in. Hendrix is on harp tonight. So I've been traveling. I was in Australia. Over Easter, which was interesting to note. They celebrate Easter the same way we do, commemorating the death and resurrection of Jesus by telling our children a giant bunny rabbit left chocolate eggs in the night. I wonder why we're messed up as a race. Anybody got any clues? I've read the Bible. Can't find the word bunny or chocolate anywhere in the book. Why those two things? Why not, goldfish left Lincoln Logs in your sock drawer, just making stuff up, go hog wild. But I think it's interesting to note how people act on religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. Nice sentiment. But do you think when Jesus comes back, he's really going to want to look at a cross? Ow. That may be why he hadn't shown up yet. He's going, man, they're still wearing crosses, Dad. I'm not going. No. They totally missed the point. I'm not going. Forget it. I'll go back as a bunny. But,
Always nice to have a few uplifting minutes from you, Bill.
Thank you, buddy.
We're going to do a commercial. We'll be right back here. All right. Is the limbo contest on deck C or D?
Now cut that out.
All right. Bill, thank you very much. Nice to see you, and good luck with your mail the next couple of weeks. It'll be fun for you.
I was going to juggle.
Oh, that's all right.
They told me the ceiling was too high.
My thanks also to Graham Parker and the lovely Andy McDowell. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. We'll see you on Monday. Good night, everybody.